The prince only smiled when someone was about to disappear. I didn't understand that at first. I was 14, working in the palace yard, sweeping dust and carrying water. My uncle got me the job because we needed money. The palace was not like the ones in movies. It was big, yes, but old. Cracked walls, rusted gates, guards who looked tired, not proud. Our town was small. Everyone knew everyone. When someone went missing, people noticed. The prince was the chief's only son. He was maybe 19 or 20, tall, always clean, always calm. Too calm. He never shouted, never ran, never laughed like normal young men. He just watched people, like he was counting them. The first time I felt something was wrong was during the New Yam Festival. Drums were playing. People were dancing. The prince stood on the balcony above us, looking down. Then the drums stopped for a moment because one of the drummer's ropes snapped. Dot in that quiet second. I looked up. Dot. The prince was smiling, not happy, not excited, just pleased. Dot. The next morning, one of the dancers, a girl named Saad, was gone. People said she ran away with a boy, but her sandals were still outside her mother's door. She loved those sandals. Things like that kept happening. A hunter, a trader, a boy who sold phone cards near the road. Always regular people, not rich, not important, just gone. Each time, the prince would be around the day before, walking through the market with guards, visiting farms, sitting near the football field, watching us play but never joining. And sometimes I would catch that smile. One night, I had to carry a basket of cola nuts to the back of the palace. I wish I never went. The back of the palace was always quiet. Old buildings, storage rooms no one used anymore. It was late. The moon was bright, but the power was out, so most of the compound was dark. As I walked, I heard voices, low, serious. I stopped near a wall and peeked around. The prince stood with 2 palace guards and an old man I didn't know. The old man wore red beads and had white chalk on his face. I had seen men like that before at shrines outside town. On the ground between them was a sack. It was moving. Not a lot. Just small movements. Like someone inside was tired. My chest felt tight. I wanted to run, but my legs felt stuck. The prince spoke softly. I couldn't hear all the words, but I heard this. People must fear the throne. That is how we stay in power. The old man nodded. One guard looked nervous. The other looked away. Then the prince said, "Do it quickly. No marks." I stepped back too fast and kicked a metal bowl. It rolled across the ground with a loud clang. All 4 of them turned. I ran. I didn't think. I just ran. I dropped the basket. Cola nuts spilled everywhere. I heard someone shout behind me. My slippers almost came off, but I kept going until I reached the front yard where other workers slept. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, the prince called for all the palace workers. We stood in a line under the sun. He walked past us slowly. When he got to me, he stopped. He looked right into my eyes. Not angry, not loud, just quiet. "Did you see anything strange last night?" He asked. My mouth was dry. I shook my head. He kept looking at me for a long time. Then he smiled. "Good," he said. 2 days later, the guard who looked nervous was gone. After that, I avoided the back of the palace. I kept my head down. I didn't look at the prince. I didn't stay out late, but the disappearances didn't stop. Some elders started whispering that the land was cursed, that spirits were angry, that the old gods wanted blood. It was easier for people to believe that than to believe someone powerful was doing this. One evening, heavy rain started suddenly, flooded the streets. Part of the old storage building behind the palace collapsed. Workers were sent to clear the mess. I was one of them. Under broken wood and mud. We found bones. Many bones. Not old, like from hundreds of years ago. Some still had bits of cloth, beads. A shoe I recognized from the market. Police came from the city. Real ones, not the local ones who drank tea with the chief. They asked questions. They dug more. The prince and the chief said they knew nothing. They blamed old war times. Said enemies were buried there long ago, but people had been keeping quiet for too long. Families spoke. Workers spoke. Even one palace guard finally spoke. The prince was arrested months later, quietly, at night, some say. He was sick in the head. Some say he believed making people disappear would make others fear his future rule. Some say he was following dark traditions twisted for power. I don't know. I just know this. Every time I hear drums stop suddenly, even now, years later, my heart jumps, and I see that smile again. Asterisk.